Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Caroline. Well, I'm back in Dubai finally, and what a couple of weeks it's been. Well, it's not a couple of weeks, it's been a few days, but like the kids are back, so I'm back into my routine. Just started, got all my peptides in from America, by the way, feeling amazing. What a difference, just getting my testosterone levels back. But what a crazy few, whatever it's been as well. Like the businesses are just growing at such a rate now. Maldives is sold out for the retreat, so I'm going to see you all there in less than a month, which I'm really, really excited. But I think, you know, what I'm beginning to see as a businesswoman again, with all these different moving parts. I've got a salon opening in 4 weeks. I've got to get my next apartment on the market, which has just been sat there and draining everything until I, you know, do it up. So I finally went in now. And, you know, I think I've realized it's looking at people around you and the people you do business with. God, it's important. It really is important. Perspective is everything. You know, I feel like sometimes in business, you feel like you're going absolutely fucking mad. You're like, we had a conversation, and I'm really realizing, put everything in writing. Put everything in writing, make sure it's clear, because if it may be clear to you, it may be different and not so clear to them. And I've had a few sort of shockers lately that have just sort of put perspective back and made me realize that, you know, the only person in life you can really, really count on is yourself. Remember that. I'm lucky at this point in my life. I'm doing really, really well. So anything that sort of hit me that's gone a bit wrong, I'm actually dealing with myself, which is what I'm doing today. So my second apartment, Burj Views, which I can't wait to get on the market. So I've sent someone in to do that today, and I'll push that all through and get it on the market before Christmas. But it's been sitting there all summer, which is annoying because frankly, I would have done it over the summer. But again, you live and learn. That was an expensive mistake. When you're running new businesses, and we are running so many businesses that sometimes you take your eye off the ball and you rely on others. And I think, you know, when there's something that goes wrong in a business, you really see people's true colors. Like I was doing something with another girl that I'd met, and the way she reacted to a question just showed me everything. And I realized I don't want to start a new business with her. And I think that's okay, right? Because it's not till you hit a bump that you can see the real person and how it's going to come out and what you're marrying, because that was a business that we don't have yet, that we were, you know, going to grow and go on to do. But I'm not about money, I'm about the journey, and I'm about the people that surround me, because you can't make money if you don't like the people you're in business with. And I think that's a really important lesson out there. You know, money you can always find. If you have a good idea, you'll find the right people. But the right person is someone that isn't always looking out just for themselves, right? You've got to be a team. If you don't see yourself as a teammate with the person that you're doing something with, you'll never succeed, because you're essentially working against each other. And, you know, I was asked at some point to like license my name out for something, which I would never do, because I think part of, you know, running a business and talking to you guys is that it's me, you know, not a licensee, not somebody else behind me. It's got to be me, or you lose everything. I was in Paris just now, and this man came up to me and Sergio, we were in L'Avenue, and he sat down. He said he was around 70, late 60s, 70. And he said, look, I run one of the biggest media companies in the world, or own. And he said, keep doing what you're doing. You don't know who I am, but I know who you are. And he said, it really, really struck me, and it was so lovely to hear, because you just don't know. He said, you know, I watch you and you're on the right path. And he said, whatever you do, stay niche. Don't go big, stay niche. And that really stuck with me. What am I trying to do? You know, I don't want to lose the personal touch. I don't want to lose the communication directly with all of you guys. And And, the fact that somebody like that, he was like, I've got 8,000 employees. And he's like, I'm in media, so I know how hard it is to do what you do. And I think a lot of people look at me and say, oh God, another post. It's really harder than you think. It takes so much work. Sergio's in there right now because we've taken over our podcast, and this is the first week that we're hosting it ourselves. And let me tell you, the ads are rolling in since we've taken it over. Wow, I can see what we're going to do with this, and it's really exciting. And I think even with the apartment, since I'm like just taking it on now myself, I'm going to be finished in 2 weeks and off we go. Suddenly the salon's opening. Suddenly, Bali, I'm like, okay, let's just get it done. I'm starting now. I had a big conversation yesterday, and we're going to start the whole clearing now, and the full build starts in 4 months. And I'm not relying on anyone but me and Sergio. And, whether we win or fail, we've had a really good time trying. And, I think that's what people have forgotten to do. I was talking to one of my girlfriends on the show, and she was like, I don't want to launch this yet because it's not perfect. It'll never be perfect. You can't possibly start at perfect. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. Just get going. It doesn't matter if you make a fool of yourself. It doesn't matter if it goes wrong. You tried. That is 100% the only thing you can do today. You can't rely on people. They change their minds. They change their focus. And sometimes things happen to them. And as much as you want to say, this is how we started the business, and now they're going, well, I don't remember that. Maybe things change and you can't control that. So you need to be able to react to the things that you can control. Okay, you want it this way, I'll deal with it this way. Now all of this is mine. And that's how you deal with it. And it's by building strength and character in yourself and never losing sight of who you are. And I think, there are times, obviously, where I go, okay, I'm getting more and more successful, so I want to grow at the rate of knots. And then I remind myself, no, I don't, because I did that before. I really love, even though I get stressed and sometimes angry, and it's dealing with, how you channel that stress, I suppose, and how you get out of it. And I think breathing really helps. I think, routine really helps. Coming home helps, although sometimes, there's a lot of moving parts to all the things that we do. And, I think that man in Paris really made me see how well and how far we've come. And, sometimes we forget. We really do. And, I think that's part of everything that I'm building as an ecosystem right now, is to show me and other women what is possible just by being tenacious, not giving up, and, literally having balls. I think we've all lost our balls. We all want to wrap ourselves in cotton wool. And, and also standing by your word. You say you're going to do something, do it. That's it. Simple as that. Do it. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coffee with Caroline. Please, please, please press the little subscribe button, and that way you will be kept up to date by us, and you can enjoy these every single week.